Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, I hope all of you are fine and studying at home. And I hope that you are giving a proper time to your studies. And I hope that you have joined your new class. All these students, they are also on board with us on WhatsApp groups as well. So I hope that everything would be fine. And I also expect that all these students are very much clear about their subjects as well, that what are the subjects that they have taken, either they have taken bio or computer science or commerce, what kind of subjects are there that they have taken. So now, yesterday I had explained you in last class, I had actually explained you about the syllabus outline, number one. Number two, I also explained you some specific rules about the online class. Okay, so those who did not join at the very
Assalamualaikum, sir.
first class, so I would like to remind that in the last class I had explained you these all things. Although I did not upload the video, but it will be uploaded in your, the link will be uploaded, inshallah. I will upload it in your Google Classroom. So I had shared with you people your Google Class code. Your Google Class code was also shared with you. I hope that most of the students they have joined. If someone has not joined, then he or she should join soon. Okay, and the code that I had shared with you people, let me show you once again over here. Basically, this is your class 9th PSS computer science, and this is your class code that I had shared with you. That you will go to your app, you will click on this plus sign you can see over here, and you'll click on it, and you will click on the join class, and then you will enter the code and you will be able to join the class. Okay, fine. So I will be able to see from here those students who have joined this class. Okay, just like, and keep in mind that you will make your first last name proper. Do you know this setting? I will tell you this setting as well. That your name should be proper name. Okay, just like this first name, this is not a proper name. So I will remove such students. Just like this nickname, see this nickname. Okay, I will remove it. Just remove it. I will. So what you need to do, I'm just telling you the process. The process is quite, I will remove this one as well. So how you can fix it? HyperXD. What are these nicknames? How you can fix it? Listen to me. It will be automatically correct. What you need to do? You will go to your Gmail. Listen the process. Listen the process. All these students just pay attention and see the process. How you can deal with this? You will log in your email. Okay, just like this is my email. Okay, you will log in your email. You will go to your profile. Okay, and you will edit your data. You click on the personal info. You can see over here the data is mentioned over here, just like this is right now my data. So from here you can edit your last name, your first name. You'll click on the name. Over here you will change your first name and last name. If you will change your first name and last name, then your name will be correct over here. Your name will be correct over here. Are you getting this point or not? The process that I have explained to you right now. You will go there, you will mention your first name and right name, correct first name, right? You will click on the save button. So when next time you will log in, you will be able to see that your name has been corrected. So otherwise in next class, I will remove these students' names from here. I'm going to remove them. This as well. So this should not be the case. Okay. Now come towards the today's topic. Those who have not joined, they should join. Now see the paper pattern. Paper pattern of practical I had explained you last time that there would be composite practical and 9 and 10 practical will be conducted together. So I had explained you all that thing. In the meanwhile, if you have got any question, you can ask me. Now see, the paper pattern of the theory. You know that there are basically 55 marks. 55 marks paper is there. I think this is SSC 1. Yes. 12 marks are there for MCQs. 12 MCQs out of which you have to do 12. 12 out of 12 you have to do. No choice in the MCQs. 12 MCQs. Then short questions are there that you need to do. 9 out of 13. 9 multiplied by 3, 27 marks are there for short questions. Okay. 27 marks will be there. So what will be the total? 12 for MCQs plus 27. 9 3 is a 27. 3 mark for each plus come to the long questions. So you will see that 16 marks are there for the long question. So you are going to add 16 in it. So total will become 55. 12 plus 27 plus 16. So total is 55. Sorry, 55. Now, in MCQs, there is no choice. In short questions, there is choice of 4 questions. 9 you have to do out of 13. Okay. And in long question, there are 3 questions out of which you have to attempt 2. Every question contains 2 parts. Sometimes it happens that the question has no part. It is a complete long question in one part. But sometimes there are 2 parts in each question. Mainly it happens that there are 2 parts in each question. I hope that this point is quite clear to you. Now I hope that the paper pattern is clear. Paper pattern is clear. By raising the hand, you can tell me that this is clear. 12 marks MCQs, 27 marks are there for the short questions. Good, good. Lower the hands. 16 marks are there for long questions. Fine. Come towards the book now. Historical background of the digital devices. Okay. So we started from here. We start our syllabus. Last time I had explained you the practical paper. Today I have explained you the theory paper, that what will be the pattern. So all these things should be clear. Now this is your chapter number 1 in your book. All the students must have their books. If right now, if you don't have, I will open this book in front of you. You can see on your screen. So the same page numbers are there in your book as well. You can see it from there as well if you don't want to see on the screen, but it's better that you should see towards the screen. Introduction to computer, it is the very first chapter. See on your screen. See on your screen. It is very first chapter, introduction to computer. Evaluation of the computer, history of the generation of computer, types of computer, and classification of computer. That we are going to cover, and these questions normally come in short questions. Normally the question comes in short question. Okay, fundamentals of computer. So we start it From the fundamentals of computer, you know that computer is a device to which you give input and it processes it and gives you the output. This is the basic definition of the computer systems, that computer system is basically the device. There is the mechanism of giving input, it processes it and gives you the output. So what is meant by input? We will explain the term input. I need a proper response from this class. I just need response. What is meant by the input in computer system? Okay. How do you define the input? How you are going to define the input? Okay. Then what is meant by actually the processing? What does it mean? Okay. How do you define the processing? And then comes output, how you are going to define the output. And with the same time, when we have got the output, we also need to store the output. We also need to store that particular output that we have got. So what is meant by storage? Yes, please raise the hand. I will unmute you and you can explain this thing, because this is very simple question which is taught in 6 to I think 6 to 7, 4 to 6 grade. I think this thing is taught. Okay, will you please explain what is meant by input, what is meant by processing, process, what is meant by output, and what is meant by storage? No one has raised the hand. Yes, please. Otherwise, I will have to call the names. Fatma Zahra. Okay, good. Fatma.
Yes, sir.
What is input, output, process, storage? Can you give
An
something,
input,
some description about it?
an input is the data that a computer
Loudly.
receives.
Be near to the mic, or see the settings that you are able to use the mic properly. Your voice is not that much clear. It is not that much loud actually.
An input is the data that a computer receives.
Good, good. And process. What is meant by process? Input, when you are giving data to computer system. Okay, just see the example. See over here the example. Just like if I am saying 56, it is an input. If I say 34, it is an input. Now, if I say equal to 56 plus 34, C4 and D4, I add these numbers and press enter. Now, this is a process. The work done by the computer on the data, work done by the computer on the data is called process. And now this 90 is the output. 90 is the output that we have got after this process. And if I save this, all this output that we have got, that I have got right now, if I save it at some location, let's suppose I am storing it right now on my desktop, book 2. So this is the data that I have stored as well, output I have stored as well. This is called storage. So even when the computer will be switched off, the data will retain over there. Okay, this point is clear or not? Input, process, storage, and output. Storage is also clear. Okay, I need feedback, class. If you are unable to, you are unable to say something, I think you should say something by raising the hand. I can unmute you. Otherwise, you can use the hand gestures. Okay, just like some students have given this gesture of thumbs up. So thumbs up is there to give response that this is okay. And hand raise, if you will use hand raise, so I will consider it that you want to ask something. So now from now, right now, from now, you need to understand that thumbs up will be that you are clear. You don't need to ask anything. You are clear about the topic. But hand raise will be that you need to ask something. Yes, Deeba, you want to ask something?
सर मुझे समझ नहीं आई।
Which thing is not clear?
सर जो आपने भी समझाया इनपुट और आउटपुट ये समझ नहीं आई मुझे।
We give input to the computer system. Do we give input to the computer system or not? Take another example, Deeba. Take another example. When you click a picture, have you ever clicked the picture using cell phone?
यस सर।
When you click a picture, so it is a data input. You are giving input to the computer. Your cell phone is also a computer. Keep in mind, cell phone is also a computer, smart computer. Okay, keep yourself unmuted. I am talking to you. Adiba, raise the hand. When you click a picture, okay, when you click a picture, the data goes to your
ओके सर।
cell phone. This is input. This thing is clear.
यस।
What is process? Now you apply some effect. Do you people apply effects on the pictures? You make it,
यस।
you make it more clear. You apply multiple colors on it. You want to make it,
फिल्टर्स।
sometime it is dark. You want to make it light, or you want to make it, in shade, some colorful shade. There are different effects available in your cell phone that you apply on the picture. Do you do this or not?
यस सर।
So this is called process. This is called process.
प्रोसेस।
Why? Because picture that you took, it was a raw fact, raw data. You applied some effects on it. You applied some change of color. You applied some light or dark combination. You applied some hue or saturation. Also apply cropping. Sometimes it happens that you want to cut some extra background. Cropping you have done. Do you do the cropping or not? Crop picture.
यस।
So this all thing is process. This all thing is process. Now the
Process.
final photo that you have got, this is called storage. This is called output. This is the output. There will be a great difference between the raw photo that you took and the photo that you have applied different operations on it afterwards that you have got. This point is clear or not?
यस सर क्लियर।
Now you will store this picture that you have edited, or you will just leave it? You will store it.
यस।
This is called storage. You will save that picture as well that you have got now with the new effects. Will all the rest of the students will please raise the hand to let me know that this point is clear now? Is there any confusion? Please. Al Rayan, you need to ask something. If you need to ask something, you will raise the hand. Otherwise, you will give thumbs up. Okay, thumbs up will be the indicator that, okay, this thing is quite clear to you. Okay, if you need to ask something, if you want to say something about it, if you want to give some other example, so you can raise the hand. I will unmute you. You can explain. Any other student who can give any example of input, process, output, and storage? Is there any student who will add, who will give some example of input, process, output, and storage? Please. Yes, Malik Masab. Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Can you give example?
About input?
Yeah, input, process, output, and storage.
Okay, sir. Input, it is a capture the data from the user, or it is the process of accepting data or information. By using input, the computer can do any process.
Okay.
And process, it is a process to convert the input into output.
Good.
And output, it is the display or output of result from processing.
Good.
Storage, it stores the data or information or instructions for future use.
Can you give any example? Example. Just like I gave the example of taking photo and editing it and finalizing a new photo, better photo. Just like I gave this example. Can any, yes, Mahnur Nabil, will you give some example?
Yes, sir. When we put a link on the YouTube, then it's input and what it appears and its output. When then we download it. So when we save it, it's a process and storage.
Okay, but little bit problem is there because input is that thing that you give to the computer system. Okay, when you are downloading something or you are accessing data over the internet, so that is not basically in the definition of input, process and output. That is basically data accessing over the network. Okay, I give you just
Okay.
example of mark sheet. Mark sheets, you will get your mark sheets just like you got your mark sheet in 8th class. So mark sheet, what we did, I inputted your marks in a software. Okay. Software did the process of adding the numbers and it told us the total and percentage and grade. And it gave me the output in the form of mark sheet. And I printed it. So what I gave the software to the computer system were your marks. What the software or the computer system did with it applied addition, it calculated the percentage and grade, and then it provided me the mark sheet, complete mark sheet, and I printed it through output. It is also stored in my computer in the software. It is also stored, so that is also storage. So this is the example. Now come towards the next topic, which is, let me mark the attendance before going towards the next topic. Okay, so this is so this is class 9 and today it is 6 April. Okay, fine. So now we come to the historical background of computer system. Do you think that computer system came into existence from the very first day, just like a laptop we are using today? So it came on the very first day in this form? Will you please give response about it? You can unmute yourself. I have, yes, you can unmute yourself. Now I have removed the restriction.
Sir, what?
I am saying that how the computer came into existence directly, it came in this form just like we are using today.
No, sir. It was
No.
first. It was a
No,
very
sir.
complicated computer.
Yes, good. Yes, Hajra.
They were a big, like full room size. They were.
They were in large size. Good, good,
Yes.
good,
And
Hussein.
they were slow processing, not like now,
Good,
fast processing.
good, good. Fatma Zahra. Yes, will you add something? Any other student? You can unmute yourself and you can tell me about it.
It was before it was like television. Now it's smart, like a notebook.
Yeah, it was in great size, in large size, and now it is, in a short and smart size. Yes, Manu, your answer is also right. So just like if you take example of car did not come in the very first day in this shape of Mercedes or Pajero or in the shape of, Honda or Civic. No, it was a revolutionary process. In the beginning, there were only animals on which people used to ride, and then they started making wheels using the using the stems of the trees. Then they made the wheel and they joined the wheels with the animal, and they made a cart. And then with the passage of time, there were some innovations, and then there were some simple machines, simple cars. And then afterwards, with the passage of time, we have got the modern car today. So same is the case with the computer system. Computer did not came into existence from the very first day in the form of this laptop. No. So there were analog devices, computing devices. Now we start from the abacus. Abacus is a mechanical device in which there were beads. Beads, you know, just like beads means small stones, beads.
Yes, sir.
These were used in China in 100 BC. BC, you know, before Christ, means before the arrival of Jesus Christ, Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, before his birth, before 100 years of 500 years of his birth, this machine was being used at that time. No calculator was there at that time. No electronic equipment was there at that time. So people used to use this machine to make simple calculations. And this is the image that you can see over here on your screen. There are beads and there are two portions in it. Can you see this? There are two portions. One line is there and it is differentiating. Of course, there is a mechanism to use it. We don't know properly how to use it, but still, in some areas of China and in some countries, this device is used. This is abacus. This was a calculating machine. Wooden box is there on which there are some thin sticks which are containing the beads, and they used to change their location to find out the answer for addition, subtraction, and some kind of simple arithmetical operation. You can see it over here. This is also mentioned in your book. If we go to the book, you will see that abacus, this is the picture of the abacus, small picture that I have shown you in the form of a large picture. So when the question will come about abacus, it will not be more than 3 marks, max 3 marks. Where it was invented? In China. In which century? Before 500 BC. Okay, in 500 BC it was started, and up to 20th century it was used in some Asian countries. Now come towards the next one, which is Napier bones. John Napier actually was the scientist John Napier. So on his name, he made the name of the device on his name, and you know that the device name is Napier bones. Napier bones. Okay, so you will be able to see this. This is the picture that I have taken over here in some large size. So you'll be able to see that basically this is the picture. Okay, and Napier bone was invented by John Napier. So the question which can come, you need to cover all these points regarding your paper. So you must know that who was the scientist? John Napier was the scientist who made Napier bones. When he made the Napier bones, you must know about it as well, that 1552, 1617, and the information that you are going to find in your book as well, that it was in 1614. Okay, so approximately same timing is mentioned. He was Scottish mathematician. You know, computers are basically evolved from the mathematics. So mathematics is basically a mother subject. So over here you can see that it is also consisted of wooden box containing rotating cylinders. Now, this point can be asked in MCQs. Beads were there in abacus. Okay, but over here you can see that rotating cylinders are there in the wooden box in Napier bones. This is the figure that you can see over here. These are the rotating cylinder. Can you see this? These are the rotating cylinder that we can rotate to find out the answers. You know, we can rotate to find out these answers using these cylinders. Same figure is given in your book as well, that you can see over here. And the numbers are written on these cylinders which are 0 to 9. So we can change their locations by rotating them to find out the answers. You know, have you seen the lock of the suitcase, which comes normally with the numbers? We can rotate the numbers, we can set the password. Have you ever seen that lock in the Techi case suitcase? So we move the number to make a, yeah, you would have seen. So we move the number, so it is same kind of thing. So this is same kind of thing. So we move the numbers to make a combination, and then we can find out the result. Okay. So what we can do with it, we can do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. We can also find out square roots. Okay. Square roots. And it is also a great achievement by John Napier that he also worked on the logarithm. He also worked on the logarithm as well. So this innovation also led it toward the innovation of the logarithm. So it was a great work done by the John Napiers. I hope this point is clear. Now you must know for the MCQs that beads were there in the abacus, cylinders were there in the Napier bones equipment, which is called Napier bone. Okay, so that's why they are calling them bones. Okay, 0 to 9 numbers are mentioned on each bone. The cylinder that he was using in the equipment, it was a wooden box containing the, basically this was a wooden box containing the cylinders, which were called bones, on which the numbers were mentioned, and the user was able to rotate them to find out the answer. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, square root. Okay, all these things. The question can come for 3 marks in short question. Otherwise, the things can be asked in the MCQs. Who invented Napier bones? What were the mechanism? Were there cylinders or beads or something like that? So you are going to say there were cylinders. You are going to select the cylinder. This point is clear.
Yes.
So here, if you have got any question, you can ask me right now. Have you got any question? Up to here, if any student has got any question? Nothing? Good. All the things are clear. Come towards the next point.
Yes.
Next point. Next, it's slide rule. Slide rule. 1620. Slide rule. Okay. This was also a calculating machine. The slide rule was also a calculating machine. Okay. Let me show you the image of the larger images I have taken over here, because in your book the images are very small. So what I have done, I am going to show you the large images. This is basically the slide. You can see that this portion can slide on the scale to find out the value, to find out the answer. There are readings. There are some readings mentioned on the slide rule. So basically, this slide rule was basically developed by the William Outridge, an English mathematician. Okay, he invented the slide rule in 1620. It has 2 rules integrated with numbers, and people could use it for faster multiplication and division. Fine. So on the basis of the Napier-Bones mechanism, he made that it could be fast. So he made this thing for you, for the people of that time, that they can easily find out the answers. Easily find out the answers by moving the one rule on another rule, just like you can see on this in this picture. You can quite easily find out the answer. If you go to book, you will be able to see that the name is of the person is William Outridge. You need to remember the names. It can be asked that who invented, when invented. So these questions are very important for us. So we must know that French English mathematician, He was Britisher, English mathematician William Aldrich developed the device slide rule in 1916-14, and one rule was sliding on another rule to resolve the problems. The question can come for 3 marks. Up to here, if you have got any question, anything that you would like to ask, please ask me right now. I will also provide you this data that we have discussed, the Word file. I am inshallah going to give you in your, I will provide you this text in your Google Classroom. So you'll be able to see the text in your Google Classroom as well over here. Okay, I will also mention that the topics which have been done. Okay, so last time we had our class, I think I made one post over here, or I did not make any post. Okay, I did not make any post in the last class. So in last class, I had explained paper patterns. So paper patterns will also be given to you over here. So our last class was there on 4th. So this is lesson of 4th April. Introduction. Introduction and paper pattern. Okay. So paper pattern, in the paper pattern, I'm going to provide you the file. Okay, so you need to have this paper pattern as well as I think you need to have practical model paper. Okay, both the things I'm giving you. Fine, both the things I'm providing you. Anything else that we discussed last time? Syllabus. You want to, if you need to have the syllabus, I will also give you the file for syllabus as well.
Sir, can you tell your Google code?
Okay, I show you.
Google
again.
class code.
Okay, fine. Fine, I'm giving you the Google class code.